This person named John Jonas entered a garden near Utah Lake with the intention of exploration. During the exploration, he decided that he will make a new record by going to the narrowest place of the gar, but little did he know that this decision was going to be the last decision of his life. He was moving forward in the narrow paths of this gar known as Nutty Putty, but he lost his way and entered such a part of the gar where no one had gone till date. A place as narrow as a grave, where it was difficult to even breathe, let alone move hands. And unfortunately, John got stuck upside down in this condition. This is the story of 26-year-old John Jonas, whose last 27 hours of life were spent in this gar. Near Salt Lake City of Utah, there are small rocks inside which this hydrothermal cave named Nutty Putty is present. In 1960, this cave was discovered for the first time by a person named Dale Green, and since then thousands of youngsters have come here to test their skills. The Nutty Putty Cave is very famous for its narrow and slippery paths. There is only one way to enter inside it, and that too is only 30 inches wide, which means only those youngsters whose waist and chest size is less than 30 inches can enter inside it. Every year around 20,000 people come here to show their skills, but then between 1999 and 2004 some accidents happened here, and then many questions started being raised about the safety of the cave. On one occasion, a 23-year-old youngster was stuck in the depth of the cave for 1 hour, and on another occasion a youngster was stuck upside down in the cave for the whole night. Due to these accidents, the authorities closed the Nutty Putty Cave in 2006. But the professional cavemen said that if it has to be closed, it should be closed only for those people who do not have any experience of caving, because often those people get stuck here. On the other hand, the officials said that Nutty Putty Cave is no less than a time bomb which can take someone's life at any time. The battle for Nutty Putty continued between the professional cavemen and the officials, and finally in 2007 it was reopened with new rules. A management committee was formed which will give permission to enter inside the cave only to those people who have a good experience of caving and who also have professional equipment. To go to Nutty Putty, one had to apply for a permit 21 days in advance, and two brothers John and Josh Jonas from Salt Lake City also applied for this permit on the night of November 24, 2009. At 8 o'clock, 26-year-old John Jonas entered the Nutty Putty Cave system with his group. Both the brothers had some experience of caves before, but they were going to Nutty Putty for the first time. Everything was normal for an hour after entering the cave, during which they explored the biggest cavity, which is called Big Slide. This was the point when John, Josh, and two other friends took the risk of going deeper into the cave, that is, the most difficult part of the cave, which is called Birth Canal. Birth Canal is so narrow that till date very few people have gone near it. Not only is it extremely narrow, but finding its way is also very difficult. In the past also many people have been stuck on the way to Birth Canal, but John, his brother, and two friends were very fit. That is why they decided to go till Birth Canal while the rest of the team members stayed behind. The idea to go to the canal was actually John's, and that is why he was ahead of all of them. The path was so narrow that John was rolling on his stomach thinking that he was entering the path of the Birth Canal, but he unknowingly took a wrong turn and went on the path named Corkscrew. This was the place where only the most slender cavemen could go. If seen in the map of Gar, this was the path where John had to go towards the right Birth Canal, but he took a left turn. As he moved forward, the path started getting narrower, and now he could not turn back. But he kept moving forward in the hope that maybe the path ahead would be a little wider and he would turn back from there. Further ahead, he saw a place downwards, and here John thought that maybe he would be able to turn back from here. Here the matter got worse, because unfortunately when he entered this 10 by 18-inch path, there was a dead end ahead, and now John was stuck upside down in a space as big as a washing machine. His head was down and legs were up, and the space was so tight that his hands were getting pressed in his body, meaning he was not even able to use his hands. John tried to get out of there many times, but was not successful even once. Now at this time John started calling his brother. After a few minutes, when Josh came there, he could see only John's legs. At first he made fun of his brother's condition, but when he realized the serious condition, Josh also got scared. Josh caught his brother's legs and pulled them many times, but this made the situation worse because now John went deeper down. John was stuck upside down and was not able to move his body at all. At this point, both the brothers felt that now they needed professional help. Now the problem was that there was no mobile signal at this depth of the pit to call 911. That's why Josh had to come out and he called them. He returned to his brother's location. After about 3 hours, the first rescue team reached the spot. It was Susie Motola who tried to pull John out for 2 hours, but John was stuck more badly than they had expected. The space was so tight that Susie even cut John's jeans to get half a centimeter more space, but even this did not work. Finally, Susie also came out exhausted. John's wife, his daughter, and 30 other people from the rescue team had reached. They were all looking at different ways to get John out. One of them was to cut his legs. But finally they all agreed on the use of ropes and pulley system which would be tied to John's legs and pulled. But the issue was that different pulleys had to be drilled in the rocks of the rock so that the ropes do not hit the rocks and the entire load would fall on the pulley. The stones of the gar were drilled again, which posed a risk that the stones could break and block the path, but for the time being there was no other option. During drilling, some stones broke and slid and fell on John. Doing this work at a depth of 700 feet was not only difficult but also time-consuming, and due to the narrow path only one rescue worker could go inside at a time. The number of rescue workers had now increased to more than 100, but they were not able to do anything, and a doctor present in the rescue team made the matter more serious when he told that since John was stuck upside down, he had only 10 hours left, which means after this much time his organs would start failing one by one. The human body is made to stay upright, in which the location of the heart is in the upper part of the body. The heart pumps and supplies blood to the whole body, and almost at 80, blood is supplied to the lower parts where the supply reaches easily with the help of gravity, but since John is now upside down, his heart will have to pump blood upwards to the body with more force, which will make the heart work overtime. The doctor said that John can get a heart attack at any time. After knowing this, the rescue workers intensified their efforts to at least straighten John. After waiting for hours, the police arrived and pulled John by his legs, but soon they got stuck in new problems as John's legs were in such a position that they could not bend, and when he tried to move his legs, he got hurt. If they pulled him, his legs would hit the roof of the pit. Well, with great difficulty they pulled John out of the pit, but at the last moment a pulley came out of the pit wall and John was stuck back where he was earlier. John was now panicking a lot. Then a two-way communication system was sent inside so that he could relax a bit by talking to his wife. This method worked and John became much better. Finally, after 19 hours, preparations were complete to pull John out again. This work had to be done very carefully because there was a lot of pressure on John's legs with every pull. With great difficulty, this time he was pulled out to a great extent, so much so that the rescue worker could now see his face. The rescue worker later told that John's eyes were red and there were moments of happiness on his face. For the first time in the last 19 hours, John was able to see outside that narrow path-like pit. Now only one last pull was needed and John would have come out of the pot completely, but then suddenly the pulley failed again and John was stuck again in the same place where he was stuck for the last 20 hours. In the last attempt to save John Jonas, an attempt was made to drill and break the rocks around him, but perhaps it was too late now. John stopped moving and was not even responding to anything. His wife also tried to revive him on the radio, but it was of no use. At this point, a brave paramedic was sent down to take John's pulse. What everyone suspected happened. John Jonas was declared dead at 11:50 p.m. on November 25, 2009. John's wife could not believe this news at all, that her husband had died due to such a small mistake. She was hoping that perhaps the pulse in the leg was not checked properly and her husband is still alive, but the reality was in front of everyone but what the doctors had expected. After just 10 hours was not found, but due to John's good health he was able to survive for another 17 hours. Several plans were made to take out John's dead body, in which the idea of taking out the body in two parts was also put up, but finally it was decided to leave the body there and close the entire Nutty Putty Cave forever, and declare it John's grave. Even today, John Jonas' dead body is present inside Nutty Putty Cave in the same position, reminding us of the danger of cave exploration, and a plaque placed in his memory is also present outside the cave. Hope you all will like and share this video.